Welcome. In front of me is a HUAWEI Nova 10 Pro, and today I'll show you a couple tweaks and tricks you can just change on this phone. So to get started, I'm gonna open up settings and navigate into the display and brightness, where basically half of them are located at. So first one would be the dark mode, and this will just allow you to select or switch to a dark theme on your device. This will also include default applications along with some other non-default applications, which will turn into dark mode. So it's just a nice looking mode in general, in my opinion. Personally, I prefer it. Unfortunately, there is no option to switch based on the time of day or on a schedule, because this is Huawei, so they're a little bit behind when it comes down to software development. They're, as you might say, developmentally delayed here. So you're just kind of forced into switching it manually. Obviously, during like daytime, if it's super sunny outside, you might not want to use dark mode. It's a little bit harder to see, so you would have to turn it off. Luckily, there is a quick way to switch it between. So let's just pull down our, can you like F off? I know how to use them. I'm aware of what I'm trying to pull down. There we go. So once you get your toggles, you'll see we have a dark mode right here, and you can just toggle it on and off at will whenever you want to. So it's just a quick way of switching between. Now moving on to the next option, it's the ebook mode. Now this, unlike all the other like ebook fake readers that you can turn on your phone, at once make your phone just yellowish. This just makes it completely monochrome, and you can kind of see it right here. Like everything just turned black and white. So it might be pretty good to read. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to showcase this with, like actual text. So you could maybe see how it actually looks like. So that is something that you'll have to check out yourself. Anyway, moving on to the next one, it's going to be the, where is it? Color mode and temperature. Now in here we have two different modes. We have normal and vivid. And it looks like it's set to normal by default, which is actually pretty good, at least for me. I personally prefer normal mode, just because it's a little bit more toned down. But there are people that prefer to crank up the saturation of their image all the way to the max, and that's what vivid is for. Now, as you can see, once enabled, it adds a little bit more punch to the colors, and on the camera, at least on this device, it's not as visible as it was, for instance, on the Nova 10, the non-pro version, which I did. But still, you can most likely see a visible difference between the images when you toggle it on and off on your end, that are way more visible than it is on the camera. Now, just to clarify this, there is no wrong or right setting right here. Normal is just more toned down. It is supposedly sRGB or P3 like accurate, but they're not giving any kind of percentage to what extent is it accurate. So I take it with a grain of salt. It's just less saturated. I wouldn't really consider this to be in any shape or form actually like calibrated to any kind of extent. So there we go. But I'll also make sure to clarify this. I don't have any tools to even check this if it is calibrated and to what extent. So I'm just kind of guessing right here. Guessing based on the fact that they don't give any kind of other information rather than that it's kind of like sRGB or P3. Anyway, I'm gonna go back now, and we can move on to the next option, which is the screen refresh rate. Now, normally I would actually go a little bit more in depth into this setting, but again, this is Huawei and their software is absolutely effing stupid. So they decided to remove a frame rate counter from developer options. Go figure, why would developers need that information, right? So I'm just gonna touch upon just strictly the refresh rates right here, and just say that we have dynamic, high, and standard. Standard is 60, high is 120 all the time, and dynamic is 120 dropped to most likely 60. And the reason why I say most likely is because I have no way of checking it. Would be nice to have that frame rate counter so I could tell you if it drops below 60, which would be nice. The reason why I say it would be nice, even though it's kind of counterintuitive considering 120 is better, is because when an image is stationary like it is right now, there's nothing moving on here. The display could be refreshing at single frame per second. Honestly, it could even not be refreshing, and you wouldn't see the difference. But the moment you move it, it automatically switches to 120. So you get that battery smooth motion, but when it doesn't need to use that much processing power, because it does require processing power to refresh the screen 120 times per second, then it can drop it lower. By dropping it lower, it will preserve your battery a little bit better. So the lower it can drop when it doesn't need to run it at 120 Hertz, the better. But I have no way of checking it, so I'm assuming it's just refreshing it at 60 Hertz at the lowest, which is not the best. So anyway, now kind of going a little bit more into these dynamic, obviously, switches between both of them, giving you kind of like the best of both worlds. So that is what I would recommend having enabled if you want to have nice, smooth animations like the 120 would do. So I don't recommend using high at all. If you want to use that high, just switch to dynamic. It's going to give you better battery life while still running at 120 when you want it. And standard will be the just permanently 60 Hertz, which will give you a better battery life over both of those options. Now, that being said, we can move over to next thing, which will actually not be in display. So we can now scroll down to System and Update, and in here we will find System Navigation. Now, as you can see, I'm using right now buttons. But probably for the most part, every one of you or majority of you will most likely be using gesture navigation by now, just because the phone throughout the setup kind of urges you to do so. Kind of like makes it more as a default option and harder to switch to it. So if you don't want to use your gestures, maybe you change your mind, you can find it in here under System and System Navigation and just switch it to 3-key navigation. Now if you decided to actually somehow switch to 3-button navigation but you are curious to check out the actual gestures, you can do so by selecting gestures. Now for some stupid reason it tells me to go through a guide. No, I don't want it. So there we go. And moving on to the last option is the simple mode. Now this will cater mostly to visually impaired people or maybe elderly, because it makes the icons and text a little bit easier to see, and everything is just significantly bigger. So I'm going to enable it and you can see it from here. So as you can see, our home screen now fits like 3 apps instead of before it was like 6 or more or 8. So yeah, there we go. And everything is, as you can see, a little bit bigger. The text right here has this white, like super bright white outlines around the black lines overall, and it is a little bit more poppy. I'm not exactly sure how to describe it, but you definitely can see the text now significantly sharply. To me, it's not necessarily the most like comfortable thing to look at, but I'm not the person that would need this or want this. So with that being said, there are people that will find this super useful, and obviously the big icons for elderly people, the less clutter they will have, the better. And that being said, there is also a quick way to leave this mode by going into the settings, which also talking about settings, as you can see, settings are now limited to just couple options. So you have Wi-Fi, mobile data, like the primary things that you might be interested in changing, along with the exit button, which honestly, considering elderly people can manage to toggle things on that are deep in the settings, I would probably hide this button somewhere deeper so it's not as easy to exit this mode. But I guess it's easier for me to now exit it. So there we go. As you can see, once you exit that, it just goes back to the normal one, and that's it. Now, with that being said, this would conclude all the tweaks, tricks that I want to show you, and if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.